Hey, this is Adam Huxama from ProjectionHub, and today I'm going to walk you through our hotel and event center financial projection template. Now, this template has a revenue model for kind of your standard hotel, a restaurant, a spa, and an event center. So this is kind of your full service hotel financial model. And there's quite a bit here, so I'm going to walk through this with you in some detail, and I've got example data already put into the model, and I'm just going to walk through it and explain how you can use it for your own specific situation. So the first thing you need to know is that every cell that's highlighted in blue is a cell that you can change without breaking the model. So you can put your own company name in. We're going to change this to 2022 now. Let's say you have a personal investment. You're going to put in your own equity of $500,000, and there's going to be some outside investor that's going to put in $500,000, and we're saying that that's invested in month 0, so that basically before the operations get started, because you're probably going to have to invest that at the beginning of the acquisition or construction project. If you're constructing it, the hotel, then definitely you'd put that in first. If you're acquiring an existing hotel, also you'd probably be putting this in, the equity piece in first, and then we'll look at a loan down here in a second. We're going to also have our accounts receivable terms here, saying that most of your revenue you're gonna get paid for when you provide the service. So you get paid the night that someone stays at the hotel, or if they go to the restaurant, they're getting paid immediately. Now there might be maybe some event center revenue that you actually bill the customer for, and you get paid within 30 days. So that's what this breakdown is here, 90-10. And let's say you have some just minimal supplies, inventory as the hotel. Maybe you should jump this up just a little bit. $5,000 worth of kind of inventory that you keep on hand as you go. And now for fixed assets, we're going to have the building as the primary fixed asset. We, in this example, have this put in as a $2.7 million hotel with a 20-year life expectancy. I'm going to change that salvage cost. We'll just put that at 0. We're going to assume we'll depreciate this to 0 over the 20 years. Furniture of $200,000. This is probably a good example of you acquiring an existing hotel, because if you're going to buy a new one, you're going to spend more than $200,000 to outfit the hotel. But maybe you're acquiring an existing hotel and just updating some of the furniture and fixtures, where you're going to put in $200,000. Maybe you have some light equipment needs, and perhaps improvements to the land or the property as well. And then you're going to have a loan. You're going to need a loan to acquire the existing hotel in this example, and so we've got a $2.5 million loan at a 6.5% interest rate, 360 months. So it's a long payback period here, with payments starting on month 1. And then we'll jump over to our input revenue and cost of sales. So this is the main bulk of the work here. We have your different hotel rooms, types of hotel rooms. You can say how many of each of these types do you have. So this is a 45-room hotel in this example. Your price point, this should be what you actually expect to get paid after all discounts and everything, on a weeknight, and then a weekend night. Put in your prices that you expect to get paid. And then for each of these rooms, what's the average spend on room service or minibar per night? And then average spend on in-room entertainment per night. And then you're going to have your housekeeping cost per night per room. So what does it cost to clean a room, a single room? And so you have those costs there. And these are just some estimates. You need to do your own research and work on your specific, your specific location, what labor costs are in your area, as well as just how much time it takes to clean these rooms and whatnot. And then same thing with some estimates here for linen costs per room per night and toiletry costs. So once you have all that matrix filled in, then you're going to say, what percentage capacity are you filled on weeknights and weekends? And then we have the ability to add a growth rate. So let's say we start out at 40% capacity on weeknights, 60% on weekends, but we're going to grow 10% annually. So you'll see that capacity increase over time. And all that will end up giving you your total hotel revenue. Now for the variable expenses for the hotel, you can see what those amount to here. And now let's say this hotel has 2 different restaurants owned by the hotel. And we've got a max capacity of 100 people, 100 customers at any one time per restaurant. We're going to say that it is 40% filled, and that the max capacity filled that ever really gets is 80%. So it can't go over 80% here. And that you're open 70 hours, and that the average customer or average table is going to spend 2 hours per visit. So this determines, how many times you're going to be able to turn over that table. So just as an example, if I change that to 1, your revenue or your total number of customers doubles, and thus your revenue would also double in this example. And then your average spend on food and drinks per customer, along with the annual increase. So then you've got your total monthly restaurant revenue. And you've got variable costs assumptions that you can put in for your restaurant as well. An average food cost, how many hours you're going to have just opening and closing the restaurant, where you're not actually open, but you're having to pay staff to be there to open and close. And then number of bartenders, servers, chefs needed. Well, that's going to give you a variable expense for your restaurant, or both restaurants in this case. Then we have a spa example here. So you have different services with the average price point, number of spots that are available so number of spots per day that are available, and then a labor cost and a supplies cost for each service, and then a capacity used. So you've got these spots, let's say 10 spots per day available for massage, but we're saying that we're only using 25% capacity. So on average, we're having 2.5 massages per day is what that would be saying. And that's, starting out on month 1, but we're going to grow, hopefully here, annual growth rate and capacity of 15%. That gives you your spa revenue and your spa expenses as well. And now we jump into our event revenue. So here you get to put in your average number of events per month. You can just put that in manually. You may have some seasonality. You may have a growth rate here with a maximum number of events per month. And then you have these different ability to add these different event packages and price points and costs associated with each package. And then right here, what you can say is, okay, of these 5 events, let's say in this month, of these 5 events, 50% of the events are package 1, 20% of the events are package 2, 20% are package 3, and 10% are package 4. That's what that is telling you here. And this should add up to 100%. You want to make sure it does that. That will help you generate your event revenue, along with event staff costs, food, and other costs as well. So all that added together is going to give you your total revenue for this hotel facility. Now we're going to jump over to just operating expenses. And this I have not spent a whole lot of time working on specific numbers. So accounting surely for a large operation like this, if you're not doing this internally, probably not. We're going to be spending a lot more than $250 a month. Your software and subscriptions, you're going to have software for the hotel, probably software for the restaurant, software to manage the spa. This is probably also going to go up quite a bit, maybe even more than that. You have credit card fees. Now this is a percentage of total revenue, so 4% is probably high because you're probably going to be more like 3% or typical credit card rates. Insurance, probably going to be a lot higher per month. Professional services, this could be attorneys, maybe marketing services, designers, that sort of thing. Office supplies, utilities are going to be much higher than that for a large hotel, let's say. I have no idea. It's going to be different based on your location and energy efficiency and all sorts of stuff. So you'll need to do your own research on your location and what you expect utilities, but that will be a major cost for you. Let me bump that up even more and expand this out so you can see that. And then you have uniforms, maintenance on the property. That's probably going to be much higher per month. Property taxes, much higher per month. Of course, it's all, who knows, it really depends on where you're located in your specific situation. And if you'd like our help to come up with some more realistic numbers for your specific business model, we can help with that. But the details and the specific numbers are so dependent on your specific location and situation. So we would really need to work with you and talk you through how to estimate those expenses. But what we're doing here is just trying to get a rough idea of some projections here. So, and then you're going to have other expense categories, and so you can type in down here other expense categories as you think of them. So maybe you have security. You can add that in here. So maybe you've got $2,000 a month for security as an example, and you could drag that across if you wanted. Okay, so there's your general operating expenses. Now we're going to get to staffing. This is salaried positions for your different business units. So your hotel, your restaurant, spa, events coordinator, other staff. And what you have the ability to do is add their individual salaries and benefits, what month they start in, what month that position ends, if it does end, and then the number of that particular position. So we're saying we actually have 2 hotel managers in this case, both at $80,000. 1 restaurant manager, but we've got 2 restaurants, so maybe we should make that 2 restaurant managers. 1 spa manager, 1 event coordinator, and then 4 additional staff that are all starting on month 1. And then let's say in month 25 here, so the start of year 3, we're adding 3 additional staff here. So that's what that would be saying. And then you can have an owner draw here. So maybe the owner is taking out $10,000 a month. We'll drag that across the 5 years. And, let's say this is a little higher. And maybe you have maybe a property manager as a whole, like the entire complex is managed by someone making maybe $125 a month. and they start on month 1, and on month 60, you have 1, and you're going to give them 5% raise. So let's just say that's good enough for now as an example. And so what you'll see here, the At a Glance tab with a number of different charts, tables, graphs that are going to show you kind of when you break even, what your different startup costs will look like, sales forecasts, you have some seasonality there perhaps, and different margin levels to see how you compare, return on capital, what your profit margin looks like. And then you've got your income statement, 5-year income statement, projection summary, projected cash flow summary for 5 years, balance sheet summary for 5 years, and then an income statement, the cash flow statement and balance sheet that are all monthly projections, so you can see what those look like on a monthly basis as well. And that's really it. So the only other thing I wanted to just mention here is that you may have some kind of different setup of your revenue model, or maybe different additional revenue line items that you'd like to add. You can request a modification here. So if you click on this, it's going to take you to a page on our website where we can have you fill out this form, tell us what you need, and we can get back with you on a quote of what it would take for our team or CPA to help customize a model so it works exactly for your hotel or facility. So hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, reach out to us at support@projectionhub.com. Thanks.